Om. Today's small talk is about finding our purpose and cultivating our vision. Finding our purpose and cultivating our vision. Let me begin with a quote of a well-known author. He says, "You cannot go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending." So to do this, that is to start where we are and to bring about a change, what should we do? We need to do two things. One, finding or discovering a purpose and meaning of our life. Second, to cultivate our vision, to undertake that journey. So how we need to cultivate that vision is what we'll find out. So together, let us try to gain some insights in the small talk. There's a very well-known words also found in the Mundaka Upanishad. It's also found in the Shvetashvatara and the Kathopanishad also. It says, "Dva suparna sayuja sakaya samanam vriksham parishasva jate tayoranya pippalam swadvati anashnan nanyo abhichakashiti." It talks about two birds, inseparable companions, perching on the same tree, one feeding on the fruits and the other not tasting of it, looking on. We're talking about two birds with different attributes. Now this is an analogy which is an aspect indicators of truth. Analogies, allegories, parables are all indicating of some kind of a higher truth. So it's like a symbol pointing out to an essential. It's like a map indicating a terrain, or it's an almanac sharing different possibilities. So how can this be applied? This verse can be applied into our lives. Let us take this as an allegory for a journey which everyone begins as a normal one and which can culminate or metamorphs into a spiritual one. I will read out a rendering by Rabindranath Tagore on the same verse. It goes like this. He writes, "Two birds of beautiful plumage perched on the tree, one bound to the world and the other eternally free. The serene transcended both pleasure and pain. Eating the fruits, the bound remained in chain. The pain of bitter fruits taught it lessons of regret. The pleasure of sweet fruits made it forget. The pain of bitterness made the bound to ponder, resolving to reach the serene on the yonder. The frequent bitterness in fruits kept it in remind to reach the serene as the goal of the mind. Rises up to reach the serene it will, only if little by little, at its own pace and measure to prove its mettle. Approaching the serene, it no longer remains bound. It and the serene were always one, so it found." Yes, all of us, in our own unique ways, are in the pursuit of this happiness and trying to seek meaning to our lives. But are most of us able to hold it? Most of us are unable to do that. And also to gain a stability also, it's not possible for most of us. What could be the reason? Why are we not able to achieve this? I would say that we need to be cognizant of these 3 Ds. The 3 Ds goes as follows. The desire to know the direction, to channelize our efforts, and third, the destination, where we want to go, what is our goal. So we need to understand those 3 Ds. To understand will be a part of this small talk. Yes, our senses are outbound, and it is only natural that we see the world as it presents to us. So what should we do? We need to cultivate something. we need to cultivate a unique combination of rationality, logic, and also intuitiveness, that creative faculty. We may be able to perceive that spirit behind the world. So we need to cultivate rationality and intuitiveness. So the 3Ds. Let's begin with the first D, desire. Some points. These points have been indicated by Swami Vivekananda in his talks. This have been culled and put it across for the benefit of all of you. The first, the objects of desire are all complex, pleasure-giving and pain-bringing. Pleasure-giving and pain-bringing, which is all mixed up. Our desires are also constantly changing. What we would prize today, we would reject it tomorrow. Yes, the pleasures of the present will be the pain of the future. Desire makes slaves of us. It is an insatiable tyrant and gives its victims no rest. And how are the desires held together? Desires are held together by cause and effect. If a desire has been raised, it does not die. It cannot die without producing its effect. So we'll come on to the next point, the second D. We're talking about giving direction to our expressions. When Sri Ramakrishna's disciples, Guru Maharaj, a lot of young students, different people, devotees used to meet him. And they expressed their difficulties to control the temptations or, So Sri Ramakrishna pointed out how we can sublimate, how one may sublimate their desires and direct our thoughts to a higher area. He used to say in Bengali, Mod fire dao, Mod fire dao. Meaning, how we may be able to change our mindset. The energies, how we may be able to guide these energies or channelize these energies into a different area, into a positive direction. So that we may be able to shape our thoughts in a manner which is conducive to achieving our goal. That is what will be coming the third point. Now, destination, goal, we all know. It's very apparent what this destination is. Some of you may have heard the phrase, life is a journey, not a destination. Yes, that is quite true. So let us say you board a train. You keep moving in the train without getting down. You get down somewhere, right? So you have a destination. So what does that mean? It means that ensure that you savor, enjoy, experience the journey too, not being focused on only the destination. That is what it means. We need to know that a rudderless ship, a captainless ship, will be lost in this infinite ocean of the world. So we need to find out the purpose for ourselves. So coming on to the conclusion. So we started off with an analogy of the two birds. These two birds could be thought of having in a human being, in a man itself. One, an objective one, which is dealing with the businesses of life, and the subjective one, which is having a disinterested joy of vision. This analogy vividly captures the values and the wonderful inbuilt capacity of humankind to persevere till the goal is reached. So let us all be in the world, but not of the world. Because life is but a series of fights and disillusionments. Swamiji says, the secret of life is not enjoyment, but education through experience. Finally, if our intent is greater than the world, transcendence, true vision dawns upon us. So we need to take care of our intent, then our fruition of our life's journey happens. With this I conclude. Jai Ram Krishna Sharanam. Thank you.